The lying incident. The Miller household was always a place of warmth and laughter. Nestled in a quiet suburban neighborhood, it was a home where trust and honesty were held in the highest regard. 12-year-old Emma Miller and her father, John, shared a close bond, often spending their weekends hiking, cooking, or working on DIY projects. Emma admired her father's strength and kindness, while John cherished Emma's inquisitive mind and bright spirit. One rainy afternoon, as the family gathered in the living room, John's phone buzzed with an urgent message. His face turned pale as he read it, and Emma noticed the shift in his demeanor immediately. "Everything okay, Dad?" Emma asked, her brows furrowed with concern. John forced a smile. "Just some work stuff, sweetheart. Nothing to worry about." Emma wasn't convinced, but she nodded, deciding not to press further. That night, as she lay in bed, she couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. Her curiosity got the better of her, and she decided to investigate. The first lie. The next day, Emma rummaged through John's office while he was at work. She found a stack of documents on his desk, all related to his job at the local construction company. Among them, she discovered a letter detailing financial troubles the company was facing. Her heart sank. John had always been the rock of the family, and seeing him struggle was terrifying. When John returned home, Emma decided to confront him gently. "Dad, I saw some papers in your office. Are you okay? Is everything all right with your job?" John's eyes widened, and he took a deep breath. "Emma, it's nothing for you to worry about. I'll handle it. You just focus on being a kid." "But Dad," Emma started, but John cut her off. "No buts, Emma. I promise you, everything will be fine." Emma nodded, but her mind was already spinning. She felt a deep need to protect her father, to help in any way she could. And so, she made a decision that would set off a chain of events she couldn't foresee. She decided to lie. The lies begin. Over the next few weeks, Emma's lies started small. She told her father she was staying after school for study sessions, but in reality, she was trying to find ways to make money. She took on small jobs around the neighborhood, walking dogs, babysitting, and doing odd chores. The money she earned, she secretly slipped into John's wallet or left on his desk, hoping to ease his financial burden. But the lies didn't stop there. When John asked about her new activities, Emma told him she was part of a school project that required her to stay late. She even forged permission slips to cover her tracks. One evening, as they sat down for dinner, John looked at Emma with pride. "I'm really impressed with how responsible you've become, Emma. Staying late for school projects, taking on extra work. You're growing up so fast." Emma forced a smile, guilt gnawing at her. "Thanks, Dad." The discovery. Emma's plan seemed to be working until one fateful day. John received a call from Emma's school principal, Mr. Harris. "Mr. Miller, we haven't seen Emma in any after-school activities recently. In fact, she hasn't signed up for any. Is everything all right at home?" John's heart pounded in his chest. "What do you mean?" "She's been staying late every day for a school project." Mr. Harris paused. "I'm afraid that's not true, Mr. Miller. We have no record of any such project." After hanging up, John felt a mix of confusion and anger. He decided to confront Emma as soon as she got home. When Emma walked through the door that afternoon, John was waiting for her. "Emma, we need to talk." Emma's heart skipped a beat. "What is it, Dad?" John handed her the phone. "The school called. They said you haven't been staying late for any projects. What's going on?" Emma's mind raced. She realized she had no way out but to come clean. "Dad, I'm so sorry. Elite. I've been doing odd jobs around the neighborhood to earn money." John's expression was a mixture of hurt and confusion. "Why would you lie to me about that? What were you doing with the money?" Emma's eyes filled with tears. "I found out about the financial troubles at your job. I wanted to help you, Dad. I thought if I could just make a little extra money, it would make things easier for you. John's anger softened, replaced by a deep sadness. Emma, you don't need to protect me. I'm the parent. It's my job to take care of you, not the other way around. But more importantly, you lied to me. How can I trust you if you're not honest with me? Emma sobbed, realizing the weight of her actions. I'm so sorry, Dad. I didn't mean to hurt you. I just wanted to help. John hugged her tightly, his own tears falling. I know you meant well, sweetheart. But lies, no matter how well-intentioned, can cause more harm than good. We'll get through this together, but from now on, we have to be honest with each other. Can you promise me that? Emma nodded, clinging to her father. I promise, Dad. I'll be honest from now on. Rebuilding trust. In the weeks that followed, John and Emma worked hard to rebuild their trust. John opened up to Emma about the struggles at work, and they brainstormed ways to cut costs and manage the household budget more effectively. Emma learned the importance of transparency and began to communicate openly with her father. One evening, as they sat on the porch watching the sunset, John turned to Emma. You know, you really surprised me with how much you care. It means a lot to me. Emma smiled, feeling a sense of pride and relief. I just wanted to make things better. I'm sorry I went about it the wrong way. John nodded. We all make mistakes. What's important is that we learn from them. And I've learned something too. I need to involve you more in what's happening, so you don't feel like you have to shoulder the burden alone. Subplot: The Neighbor's Secret. While Emma and John worked on mending their relationship, an unexpected subplot began to unfold. Mrs. Thompson, their elderly neighbor, had always been a kind presence in their lives. One day, Emma noticed Mrs. Thompson struggling with her groceries and rushed over to help. Thank you, dear, Mrs. Thompson said, her voice shaky. It's been harder to manage these days. Emma, sensing something was wrong, decided to visit Mrs. Thompson more often. She discovered that the elderly woman was having financial troubles of her own. Her fixed income wasn't enough to cover rising expenses, and she was too proud to ask for help. Emma shared this with John, and together they devised a plan. They began to secretly leave groceries on Mrs. Thompson's doorstep, just as Emma had done with the money for John. But this time, it was done openly and with kindness, not deception. The twist. As Emma and John continued to support Mrs. Thompson, they discovered a twist that would change everything. Mrs. Thompson had once been a successful businesswoman who had saved a significant amount of money. However, she had been swindled by a supposed friend who had convinced her to invest in a fraudulent scheme. Determined to help, John used his connections and accounting skills to investigate. With the help of a lawyer, they were able to recover a portion of Mrs. Thompson's lost savings. The gratitude in Mrs. Thompson's eyes was a reward in itself, and it strengthened the bond between the Millers and their neighbor. Conclusion. Through the trials and tribulations, Emma and John emerged stronger. The lies that had initially driven a wedge between them became a catalyst for deeper understanding and trust. Emma learned the value of honesty and the importance of facing problems together as a family. As they sat down to dinner one evening, John raised his glass. To honesty, trust, and family. We've been through a lot, but we've come out stronger. And I couldn't be prouder of us. Emma smiled, clinking her glass with his. To us, Dad. And to always being there for each other. The Miller household, once again, was filled with warmth and laughter, a testament to the resilience of family and the power of truth. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment below with your thoughts. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss a story. See you in the next video.